In this video, I'm going to explain how to goblet squat. The goblet squat is a really good squat variation to use after your more main movements of the day, like back squat, front squat, or deadlift. And it's a really good accessory movement that targets the quads and glutes. Now, the goblet squat is a very upright squat pattern. So with this squat, you really want to focus on sitting straight down versus back. So that's just one consideration for this movement. And because of the anterior load, it's going to limit how much load you can actually use. So that's both a positive for some people and a negative for others. So this really is not a great movement if your lower body is already really strong as a main movement, because the weight is going to be limited that you can use. However, if you have back problems, you can't back squat, or you're looking for a secondary or tertiary movement to put into your lower body workout, then the goblet squat is a good exercise to fit the bill. The goblet squat can also help you to gain more exposure to the squat pattern and just more practice. So if you're looking to really improve your squat technique without adding another back squat session into your program, then the goblet squat can work. So I'm going to explain how to goblet squat from the bottom up and just paying attention to all the little points that we have going on here. So the first thing that we want to talk about is footwear. For this movement, there are a few different acceptable choices of footwear. You can use Converse, wrestling shoes, or a deadlift slipper or deadlift shoes. You can also use squat shoes, which is what I'm wearing here, or you can choose to go barefoot. If you do go barefoot and you find that your ankle mobility is limited and you're not able to keep your heels on the floor, you can simply place a 2.5-pound plate underneath your heels. You really do not want to do this movement in running sneakers. Those kind of shoes are not ideal for squatting. To set your stance, you want to aim for somewhere between hip width and shoulder width that feels comfortable for you. And toe position, you want to aim for anywhere between 10 and 2 o'clock, so slightly turned out based on your comfort level. Once you set your foot position, that's it. You don't go into the movement and move your feet. They're locked into place. You also want to make sure you're corkscrewing your feet into the floor, so thinking about pushing your toes and your heels into the floor. If you can do that, you will immediately feel more stable in that position. The next joint we're looking at is the knee joint. We want to make sure the knees are locked out at the start and the quads are tight. And then up from there is the hip joints, and you want to make sure your hips are externally rotated, following the pattern of the feet, and that your hips are set underneath of your ribs. So you want to have a neutral spine and pelvis, and then up from there, you're looking at your shoulders and your shoulder blades, holding the weight like a goblet. You're pulling the weight into your chest, thinking about elbows down and back, and retracting your shoulder blades. So that's really important. You want to maintain that position throughout. And even at the bottom of the squat, you want to make sure that there's no space underneath of your armpit. So I'm going to grab a weight here so I can demonstrate this movement for you. And then from a side view, and there's how to do a goblet squat.